Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with you. This is the pre-show where we kind of just hang out and chat a little bit. We see if a few more folks want to join us because right now it seems to be a little light as far as viewers go. And while that's, not my favorite, I understand. There's a lot of things out there. There's football and wrestling and Monday night post-holiday. People went back to work today and they just want to chill out and not watch a live stream. But we're going to hang out here, and it's going to be a fun time. Harold's here. Harold, thank you for hosting. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for dropping those in. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can throw the emotes in the chat and let the people know. But yeah, we're gonna do a little pre. Lashbrook is here. Hello. We're gonna do a little pre-show chat before we get into the meat and potatoes of this very good build. I am using the new stream manager. For a while there, I couldn't figure out how to make it so it wasn't just like the black background, the dark setting. I set it to light, which I like better. Andy says, what games are you playing recently? Hello, first off. Welcome. And second off, so the thing that I've been playing a lot lately is I've been doing Battlegrounds and Hearthstone a lot. Just because that is a mode that I don't really like auto battlers, but it's kind of fun, so I was giving it a shot. I just finished up Later Alligator, which I really liked. That came out a couple months ago. I just completely missed it. I like Later Alligator a lot, and I am on my second playthrough of Outer Worlds right now. I'm not going to play like the Renegade. I'm not going to be a corporate stooge, but I am being much more like, this isn't the right choice, but it's the choice I really want to make kind of playthrough. It's less goody-goody. It's more like, not anti-hero, but it's closer to anti-hero than goody-goody. Like, I'm not doing the best thing for everybody. I'm doing the best thing for the people that I care about. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing in my Outer Worlds playthrough. This second one, which is I'm going to take my time with and really savor. My daily game is Hearthstone and a little bit of Outer Worlds, and then I'm trying to pepper stuff in. I think on Friday I'm going to have a little bit of time, and I'm going to try to do a little bit more What the Golf, because I like What the Golf, and I want to get a little more hours in on that. Try to get a few more level. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. We got a good build tonight. The only auto battler I've played is TFT. Yeah. So like, I don't know. All of the Hearthstone streamers that I watch have been playing Battlegrounds, Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and it's great for them because we're almost at a new expansion, so the meta within like ladder, standard, and wild is pretty set. Hi, Lord Crash, and welcome. So because it's very set in its ways, it's giving some people something to do. Because even with like, people were excited. I think Hearthstone did pretty recently is they took out a few cards for each class out of retirement, out of the wild, and put it in standard. And that was supposed to breathe life into the game again. But unfortunately, it just created like one new overpowered deck, and Evolve Shaman just became the thing that everyone played. And there are a couple other ones that still got more popular, but it didn't like make everything better and everything cooler. And that was a bummer, because it would have been nice if it had like worked for all of the classes and like really open things up. But yeah, the meta got set. It got set really fast. Zorbs, that's subscribed with Twitch Prime for 24 months. Thank you so much, Zorbs. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat if you got the Scythe if you're tier 2. And thanks, Zorbs, for that. Thank you so much. We're going to get to building in a moment or two. Zorbs, really appreciate you being a subscriber and renewing that subscription. Aristofan's here. Hello, Aristofan. Reminder, folks, to use your Twitch Prime um, uh, coin, and you got to manually renew that. And to please manually renew that. Um, we are in the low 30s right now as far as subscribers, and I am thrilled about that. Do not get me wrong, but I would love to get that back up to the high 30s or even get into the 40s. Get 40 subscribers again. Yeah, but let's get to building. This is if this is a low night, this is a low night, and I'm okay with that. We got good people in chat. I'm going to be talking. I would love to hear from you if there are things you want to chat about tonight. Like Andy came in with a great question about games, which was really nice. Appreciate that. I've got a couple things I can talk about, including, hey, y'all hear about this weather we got going on here in my neck of the woods? Yeah, I'll talk about the weather because it fucking snowed today. It snowed in New York, and I went out in the snow. I had things to do, and it made it harder to do those things. And led to another real silly thing that I cannot believe is still happening in my life. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, the positives, which was fucking snow. My Instagram, which is It's Pat Baer, ITSPATBAR. It's Pat Baer is my Instagram. Took a photo of it sticking to my jacket. We got a serious dump of snow up north too. Yeah, it wasn't really sticking to the ground. I haven't looked in a little while, to be honest. It's been a couple hours since I looked, so it may have. Let me just brighten this up a little bit here. Try to brighten this up a little. All right, there you go. It's dark. We got really dark greens, dark grays here. It's going to be a little bit of a dark look to it, but of our Zaku 2 FZ. But yeah, we got some snow, and it was nice. Really stuck to your body. Didn't really stick to the ground, but it was like, I don't know. I was happy about it. I was happy to have some snow and to see the snow, and it was just like, nice to be out there among that weather. It snowed here on the way back from seeing a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Lord Creston, you got some snow on the way back from your movie excursion. Nice. I had a dental appointment today. Now, if you have not been following, Andy says I'm from Orlando. Never seen snow. It seems fun. Maybe I've heard the songs. So here's the thing, Andy. I'll get into my dentist stuff because it's a goddamn story that I'm telling. But let me talk about snow. So I grew up in Connecticut. I live in New York right now. Harold says, as a Floridian, I must ask, what is this snow which you speak, right? So, I live here in New York City, right? And it snows. Now, because I live in the city and there's a subway, the snow doesn't stick around too long because the streets are literally warm because the heat is rising from the subway and the trains and all that. So the snow doesn't really stick to the ground, especially like streets. And, there's traffic and all that. So the snow doesn't look great in New York for that long. It comes down, it's cool, and then it's like, now it's going to be mush and gross. But the best part about snow in New York is when it just comes down and then people aren't driving and it's stuck to the street lights and the trees, the bare trees in the winter, and the street lights are reflecting the snow and reflecting off the snow on the ground, and there's just like not a lot of traffic, and you're just kind of walking, and you got places to be, so you're gonna fucking handle it. You're not gonna give a shit about this snow, but you're gonna get where you need to go, and you're just going for it. And it is, the phrase is silly, but it is a winter wonderland. And then you go to your apartment, and you go inside, and you don't have to shovel because you don't have a backyard or a front yard, and you live in an apartment or you live in an apartment complex. So someone else is going to shovel that shit because it's part of their job, and it's great. Now, I often work at night, or I'm out at night. When I get out, if I get back late and it's been snowing at night, I'll shovel the steps for my landlord. I'm one of his two tenants. My roommate and I, we're the only tenants. So um, I'll help out a little bit here and there, shovel a little bit so it's a little less when he wakes up in a couple hours, make it a little nicer. When I was a young man growing up in Connecticut, I had to shovel a driveway, and that wasn't fun, but it was what you had to do because you had to get the car out because you got places to be. Only city snow is disgusting. Yeah, it can be. I lived in Wisconsin for 2 years after college, and my parents lived in the middle of nowhere. Uh, that snow was great. Yeah, it can be fun. It is a whole thing. The Winter Wonderland is a real thing that happens, but then also, like all weather, you get enough of it, and you get enough of it. There's a point where E10, F10, great, making sure I get the right thing. There's a point where weather just sucks, and it's like, hey, could it stop snowing, please? I have places to be, or it would be great if I could just if the wind, because I am on the west side of New York, and I don't live there, but sometimes I do things on the west side, and the wind just cuts through you because it's that wind that's coming from the ocean, and it just cuts through, and it feels like it's attacking your bones, like that kind of wind. Yeah, that's not great. I don't love that. I'm not here for that. But sometimes it is beautiful. Also, I like seasons. I like to see the seasons change. Living in the New England area and now in the Mid-Atlantic, I get seasons. Sometimes we get mild summer into short fall into winter, and it's not dramatic. But Lord Crashton says we had 40 to 50-mile winds the day before Thanksgiving. That's too much wind, Lord Crashington. You don't need me to tell you that you had too much wind. That's not cool. That's rude. The worst is rain just above freezing rain is rough. And look, one of the other reasons why snow doesn't bother me much is because I don't drive anymore. Not many jackets are good for that kind of wind. No. I got a big old heavy trench coat that has a great... First of all, it's a great trench coat. It's really long. I'm 5'10", 6 feet in my winter boots because my winter boots are thick and they're all business. They're getting the job done. Do not worry about those boots. But I got a long trench coat. It does the job, and it's got a good inside lining. And then I bundle up and take care of myself. But I got this evening gig that is a 25-minute walk, and in a couple weeks I'm not going to want to walk home. That's when I'm spending a bunch of the money I make on a cab ride, or I'm trying to find out, hey, is anyone going anywhere near where I live, and we can split a cab. Because even if I have to walk for 10 minutes and spend $8 to split a car, that's still way better than walking 25 minutes in the cold. Oh yeah. Yeah, that wind, that sounds awful, Lord Crashington. Oof. All right, so we finished our backpack, and now we are done with the backpack unit. So this is the Zaku 2 FZ. It is a RE100 kit. I love the RE100 kits. I haven't met one that I didn't like, I don't think. I mean, I have to really go back. There are no RE100s that stick out in my mind as being bad. They're fun. I think these colors are really great. You can kind of definitely see that here. This dark green I really like. And also, the RE100, because we're going to pull it out here, instead of having little plastic beads and wire, this is rubber. These are rubber pieces here. I love that. That's very different in a way that I'm really into. Lastbrick says, speaking of games we played, I finally beat Mass Effect 2. I started when Alex did Mass Alex, but fell off. Okay. You need hard drive space. That's a great... Look, Lashbrook. That's excellent motivation. Sometimes you just are like, you know what? I want this to go away. I want to be done with this. I need the space on the hard drive, so I got to beat this thing. I've definitely done that with games before where I'm like, you know what? I could keep playing, but instead, or I could just like let this go. But instead, I'm going to do it. Imagine being in a grocery store parking lot with that wind and people still leave carts out. Lord Crashington, I can believe that because people don't think about other people or care about other people in ways that we imagine they should, which is a bummer, Lord Crashington, but not, unfortunately, that surprising. Uh, Fan says, I recently finished Jedi Fallen Order, which was a very fun Star Wars game. Um, yeah, Harold, we'll get into Road Quest. I have some thoughts on Road Quest. But yes, recently finished Jedi Fallen Order. So Jedi Fallen Order. I have not picked up. I have not played. I want to love a Star Wars game again, but I don't know if that's going to be the Star Wars game for me. I'm waiting. Obviously, I'm going to wait for sale probably. I don't think I was going to pay full price for it because the Sekiro Dark Souls-ish nature of it is not something that I'm super into. But I hear the characterization is good, and that's more of what I want. I mean, look, I want KOTOR 3. And it's fine if it's not KOTOR 3. It doesn't have to be KOTOR 3. But I do want KOTOR 3. So like I know what I want. And if it's not that, that's okay. It doesn't, like I said, it does not have to be the thing that I want. But it would be awesome if it was. And then Road Quest. So, for folks not watching, the folks at Loading Ready Run, which is streaming comedy videos, a multimedia entertainment organization of fine Canadian folks. They made themselves a series that they've been releasing weekly. They took a week off at one point, whatever. But they were releasing a series that they produced where 6 of them went out in 3 cars to have adventures. It's good to have difficulty settings. I'm happy to read that, Fan. So Road Quest is interesting. They put out episodes on Monday. Harold and I have been watching them. They're fun. Look, if you know the dudes, it's very fun. If you don't know the dudes, you'll get it really quickly who these characters are, the exaggerations that are playing for the camera, like the funness of this Canadian area they've never been to, even though they're Canadians, they're traveling in a part of the country they've never been to and just making discoveries, and it's a whole thing. Today's episode was fun I don't think anyone thought that this was what the episode was going to be. Because the last week's episode was like this found adventure where like one of them realized there was like an abandoned airstrip near them. So they were going out to that and they did races, and it was like the people in the show deciding what was going to happen in the show. And that's interesting. This one was, okay, now we have to drive to a place. Oh, this road is bad. This road is terrible, and nobody knew how bad this road was. And then it was just, that's the episode. The episode is, this road is bad, and then stuff happens, and people make choices, and they're fun choices. But, like, it was kind of just like, this is a bad day. And, you're watching this, right? And so they have 3 cars, and they have cameras in the cars. And then also, you see the establishing shots. Now, as a viewer, you're not thinking about the car that's in front of these 3 cars. Unless they want you to and direct you to think that. That's not something you have to worry about or think about, right? You're thinking about like what's going on in these cars, this bumpy road, the trouble they're having, the things that are happening, right? You're not thinking about, oh, this must really suck for the person who is in the car in front of them with the camera pointed, who's either running that camera or has it mounted and is trying to like do establishing shots and keep pace and know what's ahead and make sure that they're keeping track of what's going on and all this stuff that like they are already dealing with too much and clearly understaffed in that department. And it was just like, oh, it's got to be a really shitty day. And it ended up being a fun episode. And a thing happened that I didn't think was going to happen. It was a good episode. Wasn't what I expected either. I love the co-pilot swapping. Yes. I was expecting the co-pilot swap because basically they pair it off. There are 3 drivers, 3 co-pilots. I don't know if it's through legal reasons or decision making or the names on whatever, but it seems like no one else is going to drive. It might be that some of them can't drive. I do know that at least one of them who is a passenger does have his license. But basically they're like, these are the drivers for these cars. And then they swapped. And it was pretty organic and very fun. And it was like a fun element to it that I assumed would happen at some point and did not necessarily think would happen at this episode. And it was like, it added an interesting dimension because you got like them like experiencing each other's cars and dealing with each other's drivers and like just building out the interpersonal relationships. And then Ben doesn't drive. I don't think Alex does either. Well, that would explain it. Yeah, I feel like Dan or Adam does drive, but I don't know. But I do know that Ben doesn't. Did know that. But yeah, it's a pretty fun show. And like it's on YouTube, and it's the only thing that has premieres that I'm not mad about. Because in general, I don't like premieres as a way to. They're also pretty good about it. So they premiere, and there's a chat, and I don't really watch the chat. But they don't like put it up all day. They put up like the premiere reminder like 30 minutes out. So it's not a thing that like if you're like me and you update your subscriptions and check them throughout the day, you're not constantly seeing it and being like, yeah, I know about this. Stop telling me about this. So I do think that they handle that pretty well. I'm sure the chat is great, Harold. I would not be surprised if it was really pleasant and fun. It's just, oh no, oh, that's the worst piece to slip out of my hands. Oh God, oh that's terrible. It's so small, and I have no idea where it went, and I don't think I'll ever find it. Holy shit, this is the worst case scenario. This is the worst case scenario. So, what happened? Let's look at the kit. You can see right here. Oh yeah. No, you can't be too early. So let's hear. So you can see right here, right where the eye is. That's a pink sticker. Well, it's a little white piece that is going to pop into a thing that'll hold it in place on the head. The white piece that this is going to stick onto, I had in my hands, and now I do not have in my hands anymore, and I do not know where it went, and that is a terrible thing that just happened. So I'm going to breathe for a second, and then I'm going to see if I can find it. Lord Crashing Through the Stream is not canceled. You might just see my profile as I look around, because this is a tiny, very thin, small, my phone falling, piece of clear plastic. So it's not like it's going to like stand out. It's not going to pop. It is, and I don't think I can like fake it. I mean, we won't use the sticker. It just won't have an eye. Ugh. Well, it's been a while since I had something like this happen. It's not the upside is that if I do find it, because I will do a sweep, I will as I knock over something else that's bigger and easier to find, as I'll do a dust bust. I'll really pick apart this whole area to find it, right? I will be able to take the head apart and apply it later. I have to put the sticker that was going to go onto it back on here, and that's not great. It might mean I might need to tack on the sticker or put a little drop of glue or something like that. I don't love that. But it's not the end of the world. It's just this is not something that I want to deal with. So let me just go real quick here. See if it fell on me. If it fell on my shirt, that would have been rad. Because I would have just been like, oh, right, it's right here. Okay, it is still lost. That is a bummer. We have to move on. As I was saying, proper premieres are definitely the way to go, and that doesn't always happen. Okay, so this will not have an eye. Hopefully, we will find that eye. We will find that little piece we need that's going to go on here. Because right now, it's just not going to have an eye. Which is a bummer. Life hack for watching PAX panels stream on Twitch. Loading Ready are going to host the stream so any panel they are on, the chat is a million times better. Yes! And the community also transferred to YouTube. Yeah, the Loading Ready runs community is really solid. I do benefit from, when I am streaming, I have the ability to have, I try to host every stream that I'm on in this channel. So if folks want to watch it live, they can do that instead of watching Twitch 2 or Twitch 3 or whatever as an alternative. I do try to do that as well. Obviously less people. But yeah, One-Eyed Gundam, right? The No-Eyed Gundam. So, I don't know which head we're going to use here. Let's take a look. We've got, I think we'll do the Fritz helmet instead of the Commander helmet. Because I think it'll just look different in a way that I like. I like how the Fritz helmet looks, but we'll look at this right now and make the call. Okay. So, got a couple helmets we can do. We have we have like 3 helmets we can put on this thing. I'm really annoyed that I dropped that piece. I really hope that like I'm literally just gonna walk around barefoot after and clean up after the stream and try to find it, and then hopefully by Wednesday I will have found it and applied it. My next build stream is on Wednesday. I'm doing a Wednesday stream. I'm going to be streaming tonight, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. I will be at, speaking of PAX, I will be at PAX Unplugged on Saturday, so no Saturday stream because I will be away. So in its place, I will be doing a stream on Wednesday and then a stream on Thursday. The only thing that will be dampered by, the streams is, or not dampered, but affected really is there'll only be one show that I'll watch on Thursday to talk about anime-wise. So it'll suffer a little bit from that, but not a lot. And I'm actually thinking of something to watch that I haven't watched in a while. Or to watch a show I haven't talked about yet because I wasn't watching it. There's a comedy show that people are telling me that I should check out, so I'm gonna try it out. A show that I wasn't watching this season. All right, so we're gonna use Commander helmet. So it basically just looks like instead of the red eye that you associate with the Zaku 2, it just looks like there's nothing going on back there. It just looks dark, and I don't love that. But I also really do like this helmet better than the other Zaku 2 things, so we're gonna go with that helmet. We're going for just like a particular look. And like I said, if I can find that piece, I will take this apart and I'll put it in. But right now, we're modifying this Zaku 2 FZ to make it even more like a unique item. We're really going for our own spin on it. That's what I'm going to tell myself, because the alternative that I just really goof things up, I don't love thinking about. So instead, You just haven't turned the Zaku part on yet. Right. Exactly. No, I mean, we're doing it by doing the different helmet. We are really definitely changing this up. Instead of using the Commander one or the one with the antenna, we are definitely modifying this and really making it a bit of a different beast. So I do like that. I think we are changing this thing up some. See the overhead there. But yeah, we're just customizing it, doing our thing. All right, let's build some arms. As always, one of the best things about doing a kit like this is, we're doing a bunch of stuff two at a time. Really easy to just be like, all right, put some legs on there. We'll do whatever. So I wanted to say, at 10 p.m. I'm going to be taking 2 pain pills. Those that have been following along know that originally I was going to go to the dentist on Wednesday. I went to the dentist on Wednesday. My dentist started coughing just before he went to actually look in my mouth to remove this tooth that needs to get removed. And started coughing and hacking up and went home because wanted to rest up. And so I did not get the dental work that I needed. I also did not get it today. I didn't even go in today. I luckily did not have to leave my apartment to find out that my dentist just was like, don't come in. It's bad weather. I'm not coming in. We'll reschedule for Wednesday. Hopefully. As of right now, I have no appointment. I hopefully will be fitted in on Wednesday. And if you're saying, hey, Pat, does your day job hate this? And are they losing their patience with you about it? Well, the answer is, yeah. I mean, and they should. I told them that I was going to have to take time off on Cyber Monday so I could go to the dentist, and they're like, but you went to the dentist on Wednesday. And I'm like, I know that, but I didn't get anything. Nothing happened. So they were like, okay. And then I was like, actually, I don't need to take time off today, but then I will hopefully need to take time off on Wednesday. And they're like, what is happening? What's going on? So that's my update. So at 10 p.m., I'm going to take 2 pain pills so I can sleep tonight. I would love to get this stupid... Look, here's the thing. Because I know what's going to happen. They're going to try to tell me that I need to come in on Saturday when I can't. And then I'm going to be like, I can't come in on Saturday. And they're going to be like, well, you're making this difficult. We'll have to reschedule again. Like, it's just not happening. I need it to happen. I need it to happen. And it isn't. And that's just bad. It's just bad. It's just a bad time. And I get it. I don't get it. It's just a rough time. I don't have anything really funny or clever to say about it. I apologize that I can't be like really an entertaining comedy fun time person about this ongoing issue that will not go away and will not get solved. It didn't snow that bad today. Like, legitimately, there's no snow on the ground. Like, maybe in some parts of wherever... Hey, look, I don't know every part of New York. I didn't go to every part of New York today. Maybe wherever my dentist lives, it was rough. And there was no way that he was going to be able to commute in. And safety first. I'll buy that. I'll believe that. I kind of have to believe that because the alternative is that he was just like, ugh, I don't want to work today. And that's okay, apparently. Because that alternative sucks so much for other people that aren't me but also me. So, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Be real cool if I didn't have to deal with this. Uh, you were all very smart, nice people, and so playing footsie with the dentist and never getting the work done. Yeah, it's a lot of teasing. Um, you are all smart people. I will say this. Uh, I don't know a lot about uh, anything, but I do know that if you're 17 years old and you don't know who Van Halen is, that's okay. Even if you are a pop musician, I don't know why you would need to know who Van Halen is. Now, if you're a guitarist and you want to be a rock guitarist, maybe you know about Eruption. Yes, she's 17. There's a lot about Billy that's interesting and weird, and like she's been trying for a while to like break, and her dad might be like in charge of her career, and like seems okay, but might be weird, and like the family might be weird, but like not bad weird, just like wants to be famous weird. But in reality, I don't like. I'm a comedian, right? I'm not super familiar with a lot of comedy stuff that is way before my time. Does it hurt my heart a little bit when comedy movies are referenced that Abby Russell doesn't have a reference for because she's younger than me and she doesn't have a reference for the things that I have a reference for? Yeah. Yeah, that hurts a little bit, but you get over it because, like, you don't need it. If Abby never listens to a Nichols and May record, it's not going to hurt her as a comedian. Like, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. Like, that's part of the thing. Like, yeah, a little bit. Generally, it's like, I guess if I loved Van Halen, it would probably bother me more because I'd be like, but Van Halen rules. But since I don't love Van Halen, it doesn't like affect me at all. Like, I guess there is a world like if she was just like, I don't know anything about David Bowie. I don't know who David Bowie is. Then I'd be like, oh, well, you're missing out on something great. It might just be because I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm whatever on them. But then also, like, yeah. Uh, Some of younger friends make references they don't get all the time. Yeah, I'm not old. Last week says Jeff made a Three Seashells reference and was met with blank stares by Ben and Jan the other week, and I refused to believe it wasn't a bit. Why would they know what Demolition Man is? Look, would Ben and Jan think Demolition Man is a cool movie full of nonsense and fun stunts? Yeah. But like that movie isn't on TBS on a Saturday. They weren't gonna get it growing up. It hasn't been rebirthed via meme. Like, I don't know why they would know that unless one of them or both of them at some point in their life were like no, I'm saying, Harold, they maybe know the name of it, but like why would they have watched that movie? Especially when you're talking about R-rated content. When you're talking about like G-rated or PG things. Like when someone says, "Oh, I've never seen Shawshank Redemption," I reply, "You've never seen 10 minutes of Shawshank Redemption on TNT?" Yes. Oh, I actually have. I've seen 10 minutes of it on TNT because it's been on TNT. So like, yeah, that to me that's the thing. But when you're talking about especially about R-rated things, like did parents in the 90s not let you watch R-rated movies as kids like they did in the 80s? Lastbrook, yeah. So what ended up happening was 80s kids are the last kids that were told to go out and play because 90s kids couldn't go out and play. They couldn't go out and play. they became homebodies, or they went and hung out with other kids, and there was a lot of like the parent that hangs out with all the kids, and they became indoor kids. There are a lot more indoor kids in the 90s than there were in the 80s. And also, that means that you just like didn't, you were paying more attention to what they were watching. And then also, like, before PG-13, a lot of PG movies are not cool. They were not cool at the time. And people should not have been watching them because they didn't have, well, this is an R-rated, but they should have been like, Imagine if I was judged by the 60, 70 movies I haven't seen. Yeah, Lord Cratchit, I'm in the same way. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I just have no reference for. And, you know, sometimes people are going to judge you for that, right? But, she was in our chat a little, Cam was in our chat last week when we played Jackbox. Cam is Gayfy on Twitter. She is a uber fan of Drawfee, which is a Twitch and YouTube thing from Dorkly and College Humor. Great people, great art, great content. Drawfee. It's like drawing coffee. Drawfee. Highly recommend them, right? Cam is young. Cam is very young. Cam's boss was very mad that Cam did not find Step Brothers funny. And to me, it's just like, it's comedy. You can't. Comedy is so place and time. Like, I can understand watching Step Brothers in 2019 and being like, I don't get this. Why is this a thing? Why are both these characters are terrible? Why would I want them to become, what is happening? Like, I get that. I totally get that. And that, to me, that's okay. Like, yeah. I haven't seen the movie in a while. I remember very much enjoying it. But I bet, in hindsight, going back, I might be like, oh, this is all right. Well, John C. Reilly rules. And here's the thing. For Cam, John C. Reilly has always ruled. John C. Reilly has been awesome in movies as long as Cam has been understanding what movies are. But for me, my age, there was a time where you could go to a comedy movie and John C. Reilly wasn't the best actor in that movie or wasn't in that movie. So, like, for me, I know that John C. Reilly is a gift. Cam takes John C. Reilly for granted. And it's okay. And that's fine. Like, that's the nature of the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, people get so out of shape. Like, musicians should be inspired by other things happening in the world and not just musicians. Like, I don't know, like, their knowledge doesn't need to be that. It's mostly people being mad because they suddenly get the tinge that they may be irrelevant because the thing that they like is passing them by. Someone made the tweet that is just like, we shouldn't be yelling at kids for not knowing things that they don't need to know. We should be thanking them for the good TikToks that they put on Twitter for us to see. And it's like, okay, yeah. I'm mostly in the camp of just like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Look, sometimes it's fun to find out things and discover things. And to me, it's more fun to discover those on your own. You know what band rules? And they became a band in like the 60s, 70s, and I never knew they were cool. I knew they had two songs that I liked. Steppenwolf. I think Steppenwolf is great. You know them from Magic Carpet Ride, and you know them from Born to Be Wild, and that's probably it. That's probably the only songs you know them from. But Steppenwolf is awesome. And I didn't find out that Steppenwolf is awesome until like 2015, where like I was just like, wait, what's this song? And a friend of mine was like, oh, this is, I forget what song it was. It was like, oh, that's about Steppenwolf. And I was like, wait, do I like Steppenwolf? Apparently I do. And the fact that I spent a large portion of my life not knowing that I would like that band is fine. It's totally okay and totally fine that I didn't know that I was missing out on a band. Because who the fuck cares? There's so much music out there. It wasn't detrimental to my listening and my enjoying of music that like there was another band out there like we're on John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. Talladega Nights was awful. Harold, Talladega Nights is one of those movies that like Santini. Hello, first of all, hi Santini. Talladega Nights is one of those movies that like I love a lot about it. Like I love that Jack McBrayer was in a movie. Jack McBrayer got to be in a big movie, and I love that because I love Jack McBrayer. He's the best. So I was happy for Jack. It's not a good movie. You're right. And as a NASCAR fan, I'm sure it was not fun. I can imagine she's heard Van Halen music and not know them. Yeah, she's probably heard Right Now in a parody of the Right Now video. And then be like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize how much I loved ABBA until I actually paid attention to the fact that a bunch of songs that I remember liking in my youth were actually ABBA songs. I had no idea for a very long time that I love ABBA. There were just songs that I would hear like on the radio or at a diner or something that I'd be like, oh, that's a pretty good song. Oh, that song's pretty cool. And then eventually I was like, oh, that's ABBA. Okay, I like ABBA. Huh. All right. I just didn't know. I was going to make a joke about the Deadliest Catch theme music, but even that is too old for her. Yeah. I'm not going to know that. I'm not going to know what Deadliest Catch is. That came in wet, my friend. And there's also like stuff that I'm like, I bet she knows about some old stuff that you'd be surprised because people are people and they get into things. Like I have and had way more knowledge about Meatloaf than anyone should. Not the food, the musician. Because it's one of my dad's favorite artists in the world. Good night, Harold. I won't forget. Thank you very much. In 6 minutes, I will be taking them when we take our pause for the cause. My alarm's going to go off. But thank you, Harold. I appreciate you looking out. Have a good night. Hope to see you on Wednesday for my next build stream. But if not, as always, have a pleasant one. Good to have you in the stream. But yeah, I really liked Meatloaf. My dad continues to love Meatloaf. So I listened to a lot of Meatloaf and knew a lot of Meatloaf songs and really liked Meatloaf, ironically and unironically, and would get mad when people would joke about how, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. He never says what the won't do is. And it's annoying because he does. He says it in the song. So I'm going to say this now because it came up. It's not organically that it came up. I brought it up, and now I'm going to finish talking about it. The song, I would do anything for love. Anything you dreaming of, but I just won't do that. There's a breakdown where the lady's like, this is all going to fall apart. Can't last. Sooner or later, you'll be screwing around. I won't do that, is what he says. And then it builds again, and it becomes this whole thing. So the one thing, I'll do anything for love, but I won't cheat on you. Now, is that feel like an obvious statement? And therefore, I mean, yeah, he won't. Yes. But the lyric is in the fucking song, and people are always just like, oh, what won't he do? Cheat on her. he won't. He'll break up with her before he cheats on her. That's what the song is. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good song with a great video. Good motorcycles in that song. Look, I don't know. I know it's nonsense. I like Meatloaf a lot. I like music. There's gaps in my music appreciation. Um, I formatively really loved ska, but didn't put the effort in and the time in to really explore where ska came from. Bad Glimpla is rating with a party of 20. Welcome, welcome. I didn't know the Twist and Shout and Ferris Bueller until I played the Beatles Rock Band. Okay, yeah. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the raid. Breaking, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Dirty, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that as well. We are working on the RE100 Zaku 2 FZ. We had an incident early on in the stream where the clear piece that is with the eyeball I had in my hand, and then I didn't have in my hand anymore. And it's somewhere in my room, and I'll find it eventually. But we went with the helmet that steals focus anyway, so the fact that you can't see the eye, it's not that bad. It's still a great kit. We're still having a good time building it. Thanks everybody for coming in. I hope you stick around. I hope you hang out. I stream 3 times a week building model kits and Lego sets. We started this up on Saturday. We didn't get too far on Saturday, so we're still in the early phases of making this happen. Working on the arms right now because we did the body, as I said. Had a little incident earlier on, but still doing some cool building. If this is your first time watching the stream, I am a amateur builder. I enjoy it very much, but I am certainly in the fan of this stuff. But I'm not buying like every kit that comes out. The brand new 2019 kits. This kit is older. I took a long time in between building. Took a long break in building, so I'm just going and building stuff that I think looks cool that I hadn't built in the past. I'm not going to do a proper pause for the cause. We will take a break in a little bit, and I'll go through some stuff. But I do want to say, I am going to put in my wish list command right now for my Amazon wish list because the holidays are approaching, and if you've been thinking, someday I'd like to get Pat a model kit from his Amazon wish list so that he could build something on stream. I just want to say that right now, the RE100 Vignagina 2 from F91, we built the Vignagina before, which I think the Vignagina 1 is better than the 2. But the 2 right now is $22 on Amazon with free, with Prime, which is 44% off. And is just a great deal. That's $22 is a great deal. If you wanted to buy that on wishlist and it would be sent to me and I build on stream, I would love that. If you just want to buy that for yourself, like that's just a great kit to pick up and a great price on a kit. So like, there's other things on my wish list. It'd be cool if you wanted to pick something up off of it. I would love that. No pressure, as always. No pressure. Never pressure to buy things on my wish list, but I did want to do that. Also, let's throw the Baer Game Lego and the Scythe emotes in the chat if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, don't worry about it. But yeah, hey, new people, if you want to become a subscriber, use your Twitch Prime coin, use Cash Money. It is a great way to support the channel. And let me continue to do the things that I do, which are build model kits and hang out and talk. That is another way. I now have to take 2 Excedrin so that I can continue to function and go to sleep later after the stream and not be in a lot of pain. It is an ongoing. It's a thing, and it sucks. Yeah, no, Lord Crash in it right now. We don't have a Nightbot command for drugs. We do have water, which hey, drink some water, everybody. All right. I drank some water. If you want to drink some water, now's a great time to drink some water. That's all I'm going to say about that. Um, so I'll do a truncated pause for the cause since we do have guests. I'll just say that I have a Patreon. It's early in the month. It's a great time to jump into the Patreon because it is early in the month. So I'll put that command in there because, earlier in the month is better to get in because you get all the content. How's the build? I want to get one to paint as Ultramarines. It's good. It's not. It's coming together smoothly like all good RE100 kits do. On camera, it's not going to show great because it's a very dark color. But the dark forest green on this kit and the dark grays are really nice. And it's a really nice justification. If you look at difference between the helmet and the chest, I really like it. I think the forest green and the green you're going to have on the arms, legs, I think is just, it's really striking. So I really like that. It's RE100, so it's, not a full master grade, but it's got some details that I think are really nice. One thing I did want to promote real quick, and we'll get back to building properly in just one moment. If you don't mind indulging me for just a moment, I'm going to put a link into chat for Pat Baer's Anime Club, Episode 5. Every other Monday, I put a new episode out, so this is the one that I put out today. It's on my YouTube channel, and this episode is all about isekai. I talk about the very nature, the very concept of isekai, and talk about some of my favorites, and talk about the history of it, and perhaps explain why it changed from the sorts of shows that you would find in isekai to the sort of shows that happen now, or that happened in the early 2000 teens, and now what's happening in this moment. I think it's a fun video, and I hope you check it out. Because I worked hard on it, continuing to try to work hard on these. My next video is going to be about Christmas anime, and it will be all about examples of Christmas episodes in anime and Santa making appearances, and I'll even talk about the show that I've only watched a couple of the episodes of the OVA because it was a short-lived OVA that was about a kid named Santa who hated Christmas, which is a show that's hard to find, but I'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, there's some recent examples and some classic ones, and you're saying to yourself, Pat, are you going to talk about Jinx and how the episode where Santa is real in Pokemon is cool, except that it also Jinx is there, and Jinx is a real problem? Yeah, I'll talk about that. I mean, there's an episode of Pokemon with fucking Santa Claus. I'm going to talk about it. But also Jinx. So, not great. Not great. But that's the future video. The one I put out today about Isekai. Positives, negatives, goods and bad. I think is worth checking out. Because I worked on it. So, I'm biased, but I think it's pretty good. Let's see here. Alright. This goes on this. This goes like this. Yeah. Let's continue to talk about anime by talking about anime. Here we go. 3 episodes of anime to talk about here. We're going to start with the one that came out today because it's the one I enjoyed. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life, which is an isekai that is part of the third wave of isekai, which is the reactionary wave. To put it succinctly as possible, there was the original wave of isekai, which were inspired by folk tales and children's stories from the West. Things like Alice in Wonderland had a big influence on Fushigi Yugi and Inuyasha. and Escaflowne, the early examples. And then there was the period where it became about dudes going over to the other world, and harem anime kind of took over to the point where Tenchi Muyo is a reverse isekai, where a bunch of ladies from other worlds come to interrupt him. There's a Tenchi Muyo that is just an isekai. War on Geminar, which is just a different kind of isekai. Or it's just an isekai with Tenchi's younger brother. There's also what else is there? What else is there? Let's see. Oh, so didn't Sadie Maker Bill's average? That's the third gen. That's the third wave of isekai, which is the aware of the genre isekais, which basically just boils down to, at a certain point, now everyone knows that what traditional very popular isekai are, and so now we have to do weirdness to it. Like that time I got reincarnated into slime, or the one where it's a vending machine. It's a manga, or Cautious Hero, where it's what if the guy was very cautious about it, overly cautious, and it's a joke. Or didn't I say my Billy's Average, which has a female lead, and it is mostly a comedy adventure series. Today's episode, there was drama and family stuff, and last week, and it was like heavier. So this week was a one-off. It was light, very light and breezy, because of that, which I'm not against at all. It did get to show Mila, the main character, just her weirdness. Like, she was really talented in her former life and is still really talented in this life, but is also like kind of weird in a fun way. Her obsessions are kind of fun. So I was into that overall. The episode was fun. It did end with them in an onsen. They basically made a bath, and like that's whatever. It's fine. Yeah, Cautious Hero. Revan, I like it. I like what it's trying to do, right? I do think that some of the characters are, like the supporting characters, like, I would love it if that show was less horny, because so many isekai are just, like, because they're harem, devolve into being very horny. And I do think that Cautious Hero, its weak point are the characters that are just really into him and gross because of that, or act gross because of that. I would like less of that, I think, because I'm more interested in seeing him get out of stuff and seeing the characters react to it. More than, like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But like, I still like the show. I still think the show is solid. But yeah, I wish it was a little less horn. But yeah, some people, that's not going to be a problem for them. They're not even going to bat an eye at it. Totally understand. Let's see. So that's good. My Hero comes out on Saturday, but I have so much anime to watch on Friday and Saturdays that I save it. This episode of My Hero was mostly the build-up. There was a really touching callback moment, like an on-purpose callback of, like, people reaching out to Midoriya and, like, being like, hey, if you need help, I'm here for you. And, like, this kind of, like, reprise of previous, like, him trying to be there. And it was really sweet and really nice. And also, like, this moment is happening, right? And you have these characters that are, like, one who's, like, just dealing with a family trauma very recently, who people stepped up to help. The other guy who his whole life is family trauma, who is like really soft spoken and like clearly has never really had friends and is just trying to be a good guy. And it's a really nice moment. And then literally right next to them, who is oblivious to everything that's happening, he's in the frame and is not saying anything or doing anything, is fucking Mineta. And it's like, God damn it. Don't, like it's better that he didn't try to help, but it's just one of those things where it's like, also, this asshole's here. Check out this fucking garbage. This garbage is still here. Don't worry. He's not going to do anything in the episode. He's not going to say anything, but he's here. Ugh. Dragon Lady got real big at the end. That's cool. That was fucking rad. We're going to see some fights. Got some fights coming in. We're going to see what happens. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with some of the stuff. We're going to see some characters be great in the next episode. The drama is picking up. The season is picking up, right? It's been a little slow. It was taking its time. It was introducing some stuff. I love that in a shonen because you don't often get shonen where people can take their time and figure things out. A lot of times it's go, 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 go. I'm happy that this one is being a little chill. But sometimes nothing happens and you're like, this episode sucks. And that was this weekend's One Piece. Now, did this weekend's One Piece end with a bang in a big way? Yes. It ended very big and was very cool. But was most of the episode pretty much a waste. It was kind of fun to see a few characters we haven't seen in a bit do some stuff. That was kind of nice and kind of fun. But most of the episode was like, hey, check out this new character that isn't that interesting looking. And maybe he'll be an ally, but probably not. He's going to fight Jack, who we've seen be awesome in the past, and he's a pretty cool character, but like obviously a villain. But yeah, we're going to have this big pink-haired samurai guy that does not seem interesting. He's going to be most of the episode. I wasn't thrilled with that. I will say I wasn't super thrilled with that. But then in the end, Kaido turned into a big fucking dragon and showed up. Now, obviously, opening credits, there's a big dragon there. So Kaido, one of the four emperors, or the four real emperors, who is already like unkillable, invincible. No one has ever said how they're going to defeat him. Apparently, is a devil fruit user and can turn into a giant fire dragon, which feels overpowered. It's like, it's one of those things where you're like, are they going to take another time jump? Because how the fuck are they going to pull this off? Like, how does this work? They're also like, he's not on his island anymore. They're not going to go get him. He's now drunk and like around. And shit's about to pop off. So that's interesting. This season of One Piece, as I said, there's been some filler. There's been some times where it was kind of weird. He's not an altered beast, Lord Crashington. So the thing I like about devil fruits is sometimes they are just like weird, and like you're like, oh, you really have to think about how you'd use that, and you really have to like people always say that the devil fruit I forget what his name is, but there's a villain character, I forget his name. He's a martial artist, but his ability is that he can open doors anywhere, but it's bad. It's a bad fit because he doesn't fight. It's not how he fights. It doesn't help him at all. And there are some that are like Luffy. Luffy's like, I'm going to figure out how to use this rubber to my advantage. and I'm going to build a fighting style around the ability that I have. And then there's some that are like, oh, well, when you die, if you ate this, your soul will stay in your body. Good, I guess. Eat it. It sounds bad now when you're just like alive and not like just because then you can't swim. And then there's some that are like, you control light, thunder, and lightning. Okay. Anything you imagine, you can create into reality. Oh, there's one that's drawing, and there's one that's just thinking things. The drawing one, you draw and it comes to life. That's incredible. Okay. I feel like turning into a giant blue fire-throwing dragon when you're already one of the strongest, biggest people in the world feels like cheating. It feels like a lot. It's just like a lot is going on there. It's like, I don't know if Kaido really needed that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do like that. That is a fun part of the world of One Piece, is just like this weird mix of like different abilities and who has what and who can do what and who uses their devil fruit abilities. But there are some fruits that are like, yeah. Oh yeah, Lord Crashington. There's one that a sword is also an elephant. That's a devil fruit. It's not a good one. There are some not good devil fruits. Just like there are X-Men who are just like, I just look weird, and people don't like it. Yeah. And also, like, there are quirks in My Hero Academia that are, like, not that powerful or not that helpful. Like, yeah, those things exist in this world, which is always kind of interesting when they show up. And you're like, yeah, that's not great. It's a bummer sometimes, but yeah. There are abilities that are just like, yeah, sorry, kid. That's not that good. You got like the lamest devil fruit. Or like, so obviously, the devil fruit that allows Chopper to talk to humans is great for Chopper because he's a reindeer. And now he can talk to humans. That's good. But, which is good, right? But that's only good for Chopper. That's not good if a human ate it. Like, that does. They are, yes, they are specific and unique. You're right. There are some that are similar, but not necessarily the same. But there have been times where there's some that are a little similar to each other. But for the most part, it's just it is a they are pretty unique and individualized. But like, yes, then also you can no longer float in water. And then there are people that have abilities that are not devil fruit related, that are incredible. And there's hockey, and that later became a thing that a lot of people can use, and it's a good evening thing. Yes. Yes, Lord Crashington. It is the fun, like, thing where all of these incredibly powerful pirates and marines have abilities that sometimes make it very hard for them to do the thing they need to do, which is be in the water. So you end up with a lot of, like, cages that are above water. And there's a stone that blocks abilities. Sea stone. That's the whole thing. And then, like I said, hockey is a thing that you can use to hopefully kind of circumvent some stuff with it. But There's a lot. There's a lot in One Piece. I enjoy it. Like I said, I've enjoyed most of what's been going on lately. Uh, for the most part, I've been into this season and what they've been doing. I'll switch these out here. Hockey. Yes, hockey. Haki. Not hockey. The sport. Not ice hockey. Hockey is basically intense training allows you to do things you normally wouldn't be able to do. In some instances, it is augmenting your powers. A lot of people have that, so they can kind of be on a bit of an even playing field with some people, and some people use it in conjunction with their Devil Fruit abilities. There's some people that just have abilities for hockey, and then there's some legendary ones that are not that not a lot of people have, and we have seen moments of that. We had seen moments of hockey throughout the series, and then eventually, like, a lot of people just suddenly had it, and you're like, oh, that moment was hockey. Okay, cool, that's fun. This one Dugon can use hockey in its one hand. That's fun. Oh man, Kung Fu Dugons, best. Lashbrook, right? Lashbrook knows what I'm talking about when I talk about how cool the Kung Fu Dugons are. Man, those things are the best. Best minor characters in One Piece. I stand by that. The fucking best. Um, Lashbrook, they look kind of like beaver, sea lion things, but they learned martial arts. And their whole code is that, like, if you beat them, you become they become your students. There's a whole thing. Yes, there are a couple that are named. Yeah, uh, and one of them later shows up again. The Kung Fu Dugon are great. Look them up. They are very silly and very fun. And Luffy trains them in martial arts, which is very funny because that's not really his thing anyway. Uh, and they're awesome. Just a silly, weird thing in that world. They're like weird little creatures. I love them though. Also, they're called Kung Fu Dugons. That's just good. It's an anime thing, yes. Yes, Lashbrook. It's an anime thing, but I thought you might be there in the anime. Because I know you've read a lot of the manga, but I didn't know if you had gotten to the anime part. It's very good. Kung Fu Dugons rule. Uh, I'm not caught up on. Maybe I'll get caught up on Boruto for Thursday. I don't know. I guess I don't know anything going on tonight. Maybe I'll watch Boruto. Oh no, I do not have the time to catch up on the anime. No, Lashbrook, I understand. I thought you may have seen it though. I maybe I'll get caught up on Boruto. I'm a couple episodes behind. I don't know. Whole time travel thing has been like meh to me because the whole show is kind of a time travel thing anyway. As I said, the whole show is kind of just like, hey, Naruto was cool, right? And you're like, yeah, it was. Tell me why Boruto is cool. Why is Boruto cool? What's going on with the show? Been catching up with Pokemon while Pest and Shield here. Oh, nice, cool. Yeah, I know that they're finishing up this um they're finishing up this season, right? This story arc and gonna start a new thing. Been watching more DB Super Tournament of Power, and I just got to the halfway point where it seems like each episode is 2 minutes of the tournament. Yeah, I mean that Tournament of Power is a tournament of power. It is a tournament of power. The Tournament of Power. A tournament of power. What I'm saying is, it's all about that goddamn tournament, and it's the whole thing. Parts of the exhibition I think are real great, and then a lot of the what happens after is I don't think particularly great. I mean, there's not much where fighting between 100 people with slowing it down. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It's just that it does take a while. You know, I think some of the interactions are really fun. I think some of the worlds have some really cool ideas and concepts around them. Um, it's cool. It's very cool to see some strong ass, relatively Namekians, some Namekians that are trying to be badass and cool. That's fun. I like that. I like a world where the bravest heroes in that universe are Namekians. That's kind of cool. I thought that was neat. But also, hey, do I like a planet with all animal creatures doing their thing? Yeah. Or universe? Do I like a universe with like where it's basically Sailor Scouts? Yes. That's pretty great. There's some good shit. But yeah, and then also it is Dragon Ball Super is many things. And the thing that it was that surprised me the most, because it was like, it was, well, we're gonna do right by future Trunks because Dragon Ball GT did our Trunks that looks like that Trunks, because of course he does, not great. So we're gonna do future Trunks right. We'll continue the story. Like that was fun. It's the kind of like we're gonna see Krillin get back to basics. That's fun. But really, it's like it in a lot of ways, Dragon Ball Super is Master Roshi's redemption arc, and that is a weird thing. It's weird to say. It's weird that it's true, but it is a lot of just being like, he is kind of he is one of the strongest humans, and it's kind of nice that he's representing and like doing his thing and doing his best. Like, there's something great about that. It's weird. It's weird because he's still a gross old man, but like he's trying. I knew that going in, we weren't gonna get all. I knew that Gohan was gonna choke because the truth of the matter is that Gohan is not Goku 2. Gohan is Gohan. So, powering up Gohan, putting our faith in Gohan, that was designed to not work out on purpose, and I understand it, because at the end of the day, Gohan is a strong human with a strong sense of justice, who is a good dad, and is going to raise, hopefully, he's going to raise one of the strongest fighters for the next generation of Earth. But that's not Gohan, and like that's a character that I've loved for a long time, and I gotta get that. Did Dragon Ball Super give me more of Great Saiyaman? Yes, it got me Great Saiyaman and Great Saiyan Woman, and like goofiness and theatrics and silliness with it. Yes, we got that. I was thrilled to have more Great Saiyaman. I love Great Saiyaman. But when they were like teasing that maybe Gohan's gonna like step up and like really and be like the third best fighter on the Earth team, I was like, that would be rad. It's not gonna happen, but that would be rad. Turns out the third best fighter is like Vegeta or 17. Yeah, Yamcha just, it's tough. Weird bit in the Super manga where they have Roshi actually dodging Jiren's attacks for a bit. That is weird. I like that Baer kept calling Gohan Goku Jr. Yes. it's also a very nice wink and a nod to the fact that he is Gohan. Gohan is Goku Jr. That's what everyone wanted. That's what they wanted to be before fans were like, no, no, we don't want young Goku. We want Goku. Stop giving us not Goku and give us Goku. We want Goku, and then some of us want future Trunks. But we don't want Gohan. No, we don't want Teen Gohan. We definitely don't want that. Ugh, it's a bummer. But yeah, they definitely tease it like, hey, Gohan's going to be up there, right? He can unlock some of that power and, he can, go for it. Yeah, he can, really, he could save the day. He could pull it off. And it's like, no, he can't. He can't. He'll try his best. But, he doesn't have that fighter instinct. He's not going to pull off the big moves. At the end of the day, that's the thing that's the weirdest. As at the end of the day, it's like, thanks, Frieza. I guess. Weird. I'm not going to say the moment. There's a moment in the last episode of Super. There's an incredible moment in the last episode of Super that pays off a thing. There's just a shot of a character. And the look that character gives pays off so much of the show in such a strong, great way. That's so it's not frustrating, but it's so interesting to think about. But I won't say what it is, but it is a very cool moment in that show. There's some cool moments in it. I'd also someday like to go and borrow or buy or rent or whatever the Blu-rays and really watch that, because watching it week to week, there were weeks where sometimes that animation was real bad, and then I heard that the dub, so it has some of the Blu-ray changes in the dub, which is good because, oh boy, sometimes week to week it was very clear that they just didn't have enough time sometimes to finish episodes up, get them done, and some of those fights looked pretty bad. It'd be interesting to see, but I've heard that they cleaned up a lot. I nearly bit on Dragon Ball GT for $21 for Black Friday just to see it. Lord Crashes, and here's the thing about... I've talked a lot about Dragon Ball GT. I like Dragon Ball GT. I like the dumbest parts of Dragon Ball GT. So that's not good. I don't like the good parts of Dragon Ball GT. I like the goofiness of Vegeta with a mustache. I'm into that. I'm into older man Krillin. That's great. I like that the Dragon Balls turn evil and become dragons, and one of the dragons, and they're all manifestations of early Dragon Ball wishes, and one of them is the wish for a pair of underwear, which is Oolong's wish, and I liked that payoff. That payoff I think is pretty fun. But overall, that's a bad show. Pan is annoying. Trunks is annoying. Goku is alright. Looking like a kid Goku, sometimes acts like a kid instead of acting like an older man trapped in a kid's body, which is weird. The robot sucks. Most of the adventures suck. Most of the villains they fight suck. Baby sucks. It's There's like a lot to dislike about that show. Um, the fact that Oob isn't awesome even after he merges with Boo sucks. Like, ugh, there's so much of it. Just a bummer. I'm not into it. Uh oh yeah, also, it sucks that the choices made with Bra suck. Because the idea that that a child of Bulma and Vegeta. Think about Vegeta's daughter. What a super powerful woman with the brains of the Brief family and the brains of the Vegetas and the strength of both and the determination of both. You get Trunks, future Trunks. You get future Trunks, a beloved character in that series. Just like a badass, awesome, like, wish they had the proper training, and with the proper training does all this stuff, like, is there going for it. And then you have like Bra, who like doesn't want to be a fighter. It doesn't have any abilities, wasn't trained, is is just there so that she can like go on a date with Goten and like have it be awkward. Who is also her brother's age, so like weird. That's weird. Yeah, it's not great. Had the Truffles arc. Oh, look, like I said, there are things I liked, there are things I didn't like. I'm not here to say that it was like there was stuff that I enjoyed about it. I just didn't enjoy a lot of it, and that sucks because I wanted to. I think the thing that bummed me out was that when you see Pan, this little girl, the daughter of Videl and Gohan, uh, like fight in the tournament at the end of Dragon Ball. She's just cute and fun, and you're like, oh, that's fun. Goku's granddaughter. That's awesome. That could be really cool. Like, and you're like, oh. Most of the time, she's just like, Grandpa. I didn't catch a lot, so I guess I didn't catch Bra. Yeah. Yeah, Bra, I mean, like, isn't an important part. She's not an important part. Like, if you want to tell me that Marrow should have been badass, I'm like, I'm okay with 18 and Krillin's daughter not being a martial artist. Like, I guess I'm okay with that. Because, like, yeah, all right. Like, I don't know. I think I'm more okay with that than I am with, uh, oh shit, I'm doing this too fast. I guess I'm okay with that more than I'm okay with, like, Vegeta's daughter not like being incredibly strong. Okay, all right. I guess. I don't know. I feel like that to me should have happened. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's all kind of sort of retconned and changed around a lot because of the movies and show. So it doesn't really matter anymore. And then they'll make some changes, and who knows what'll happen. Get more super. I can see Krillin not forcing his kid to fight. Vegeta seems unlikely. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Goten is still out there. Gohan, Gohan's retired or whatever. But like, he already knows that Pan is going to be really strong. Like, he can already tell Pan is going to be strong. So you'd think that he didn't be like, eh, like whatever. He already knows there's going to be a really strong kid out there. I guess he just doesn't care that his isn't going to be one of them. And it feels weird. It just felt like a weird choice. Because it's not like he like chilled out or anything. He just kind of like gave up on her. Eh, whatever, right? It is what it is, folks. Talk way too much about Dragon Ball GT, a show that I never really loved. But it's fine. It's fine. Alright, working on our feet here. I'm trying to think about other stuff we can chat about tonight. I got anything really great on the docket for this week. Streaming on Wednesday and Thursday. We still have some time left on the stream, but I will say that I am streaming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern till 11 p.m. Eastern. That is the times. I added two more performers. The return of 80 and Liz from Gather Round Games to my panel. If you're at PAX Unplugged this Saturday at 6 p.m., go to the Leviathan Theater and come see the panel. It will be really fun. Featuring Ben Ulmer and Brendan Beej Derry from Loading Ready Run, Jacob Burgess, voice actor and writer, Trin Garitano and Tom Dyke from Chicago. Tom is from Cards Against Humanity. Trin is formerly from Cards, who is now currently working for Kickstarter in the games outreach. So she'll be working that weekend and then spend some time with us. Matt Ringler, who worked on Smack Talk Showdown and has another game is working on. And then, as I said, Liz and 80 from Gather Round Games. They made the board game, or the tabletop game, Someone Has Died, which is a very fun game. And they will be performing in the Improvised Postmortem. I will be filming it for YouTube. And so, if you're at PAX Unplugged, please see that. If you see me at PAX Unplugged, ask for a pin or a button. I have some buttons. I will give them out to you. They say Bear Cave on them. That's pretty fun. Or just say hi. I will be there only on Saturday, and I will be there all day Saturday, which is why I'm not streaming this Saturday, is because I will be there doing my thing. I submitted 2 panels for PAX East, which is in February next year, which sucks. It sucks that it's in February. It's the earliest PAX East ever. It is not the planning committee. It is that Boston, there are just groups that get to choose what weekend they do, that have more say over what weekend they get to choose. Instead of PAX, they are lower in the totem pole in that regard and do their best. But it's like the end of February, and that sucks. But I am planning on going. I submitted 2 panels. 1 panel. Yeah, February isn't great. Lord Creston, there was one year where it was the first weekend of March, and it had been such a bad snowstorms that they ran out of places to put snow. So the city of Boston just closed. They made parking lots close and then just dumped snow in the parking lots, and that was a rough winter. That was a rough one. But I am submitted 2 panels. I have the Improvised Postmortem, which is the panel that my favorite panel to do. Asterisk, I don't know. I'm not looking, because they're always different weeks. So I don't know what company or what local convention took the slot, the different slots, which is why they're like sometimes in late April, early April, sometimes in late March, sometimes in early March. It's unfortunately there's just like a bunch of stuff happens. So unlike PAX West, which is always the same weekend, and PAX South, which is usually the same weekend, and PAX Unplugged, which is usually the same within a weekend, beginning of December. Well, it's only the third one, so That could change. It's always usually the end of January, like the last week in January is south. It's just unfortunately with the Boston Convention Center, they don't get to pick and choose, which sucks. Um, so yeah, so I submitted two. I did the improvised postmortem. I submitted, and I submitted another panel, which Lord Creston says I watched the most recent with Abby, Dave Lang, and crew. Uh, Mike's worst game outcome game postmortem was the best. Yes, Mike did an incredible job. Um, Mike Drucker is a phenomenal talent and just very funny and very dark. And I knew that giving him a dark prompt would lead to something great. That was a really fun one. Hello, Gundam Umbra. Welcome. Working on the RE100 Zaku 2 FZ. As you can see there, we got the top done, working on the legs, talking about some panel stuff. I have, as I said, the second panel that I submitted is the one that I'm not sure if it's going to get in, but I do think is a really fun idea. I submitted Pat Bear's Anime Club yelling about the shows we like. And the basic premise is that it is a panel where myself and guests, other panelists, will just not necessarily yell the whole time, but like speak enthusiastically at the audience to demand that they watch shows that we really like. It's that thing where you always say like, I'm a broken record about this, but, and you're like, hey, I know no one's going to watch this, but you should be. Or, hey, watch this instead of the thing you're watching. And it's just the show. So it'll be impassioned speeches about a variety of programming that we think people should check out. There'll be clips and such. And that is the panel I submitted. We'll see if that gets in. I have to confirm some more guests for it. I have one confirmed that should be enough to get it, but I'm going to sweet talk Pierce on Saturday from Reed to be like, hey, this is actually what should be in the show, or this is what we should be doing. You should be letting me do this panel because I think it'll be really funny and good. But yeah, it'll just be like, hey, you should be watching this show. Here's information about like why, and here's me trying to sell it to you. So if it was like, I don't know, if I was gonna talk about Laid Back Camp, right? Laid Back Camp is a show that I would say, hey, if you never watched The Slice of Life, that's the great Slice of Life. If you love Slice of Life, well, you should already be watching it. But if you don't know that subgenre too much, here's a great example of one. Here's a show you should be watching. And here's the reasons why. And it's about this, and these are the characters, and just kind of like yelling about how people should be checking it out. Or if you really need the chillest anime possible to watch, if you're just like dying for a really relaxing show, well, then you should be watching Flying Witch, which is the chillest of the, it's probably the chillest slice of life show that existed. It's great. Comfy ass camping. Yeah. Laid back camp is just chill and great, and it's like, hey, I like this kind of camping. Hey, I like this kind of camping. Wait, neither of us are wrong? And there's good times for both? Okay. Hey, this whole series is us leading up to a group camping event. And then we led up to it. And it was great. Awesome. Anything like Azumanga Daioh these days. Let's see. There was a series not too long ago. It's like something of high school boys. Daily Life. Is it Daily of a High School Boy? Daily Lives of High School Boys is a couple years old and has a Azumanga Daioh vibe to it. That might be the closest thing because it is like it's got that wacky vibe to it. So that's close. It's not quite there. Um, yeah. Uh, but it's got that like this is a silly show. These are characters that are like that like each other and are interacting. So yeah, it's kind of got that weirdness to it. That might be good to check out. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I mean, I didn't love it like I love uh, Azumunga Daioh, but how could you? That's lightning in a bottle, my friend. I'm trying to think of yeah. So that's the panel that I submitted. I did submit it in all caps, like the description is in all capital letters, and I'm hoping that if they approve it, they'll let that be the description because just think that's funny. Just be like, it's people that you like yelling about anime you should be watching. I just think it's a funny way to go about that. Who knows? Who the heck knows? Uh oh yeah, it's about to. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna refresh my memories on. Yeah, I mean Yatsubatu is a very fun show, and it's uh also the series that it's the same creator as Azumanga Daioh, so you kind of can't go wrong. That was the early 2000s, right? Yeah. So that's the same creator. So like, yeah, the vibe is right. It's like got a real good vibe to it. Yeah, the anime uh uh Nyanbo came out. Uh which is the spin-off. Uh it's on Crunchyroll. Nyanbo. So it's like a spin-off of Yotsaba. But there is no Yotsaba anime. Yeah. I don't know why, but they just never did an anime of it. But they did an anime of like a side thing. Yeah, the cat one. Yeah. But yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like that. Okay. All right, so we're working on our legs here. We're starting with our right leg, putting on our hydraulics. I love that this is rubber, as I said. I think this is just like a neat element to it. Really adds. It really means that it's just like a lot easier to do. Maybe it doesn't look as cool as if this was all plastic beads over a thing, but uh, in application form, it rules. It's a lot easier to do. I'm very much into that. Um, then like um, what's like I'm trying to think of Lord Crash. Like like Pop Team Epic. You might like Pop Team Epic is a lot weirder than Ozymandias. Ozymandias is like weird characters, but there's a base reality where there isn't really a base reality from Pop Team Epic. So like you might not be into it because it is pretty surreal. Um, but it's still fun. It is cruder, yeah, I would say, certainly. It does get laughs from just being like, well, that was rude. That's a rude thing to do. Like it does get those laughs. So it's certainly not the same. kind of joke structure, but there's still some good jokes to it. Uh, oh yeah, I mean that show is surreal, surrealer than Azumango. Nichijou. Uh, Nichijou is weird because I think it's like most of its animation. I'm like, I hate this, and then sometimes it's the best animated thing in the world, and it's just like, what? What's happening right now? Like, it's one of those things where like there are just times where I'm like, this looks fine, this is fine, this is kind of funny, and then sometimes it's just like, this is the best thing in the world. I don't know. That show was very hit or miss with me. Where sometimes I was just like, man, this is not. And then there'd just be a moment where I was like, oh, this is the best anime ever. Yeah, it's got really good moments. It does very well in clip form, but like I don't know if I would be like, oh, well, you should watch this. I don't know. Like that weird kind of like not cringe but odd comedy thing that came out. That people were that some friends of mine really liked. I forget the name of it, but like there was something that came out pretty recently that people were gaga for, and like, oh, the humor's so fun, and they make all the characters look gross sometimes in like really interesting ways. And I was like, oh, there's some moments of this show that are cool, but it was like a soapy. It was like something with a soapy in the name, I think. I don't know, that people were high on, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't like this show. I don't like these characters. I don't want to keep watching this because not everything's for everybody. Sometimes you just find a show that you're like, you know what? No, I get that. I'm the guy that talks about isekai every fucking show, every stream, because the way they broke out the isekais this season. On Mondays, I talk about one isekai. On Wednesday, I'm going to talk about two isekai, right? Yeah, two isekai. And then on Thursday, I'll talk about a fourth isekai. There are four isekai that I'm watching this season. Like, and I stopped watching Bookworm because I didn't really like it. And I know people that are really into it. But for me, it just wasn't doing anything that I had any interest in watching. Um, but yeah, someone has to talk about them. I don't know. Like I said, that time I got reincarnated slime was one of the best anime of the year. Last year won like best protagonist or whatever. But I think abilities, didn't I say to make abilities average the next life, is good and worth talking about. So I'm going to talk about it because I think it's solid. But yeah, Bookworm is the one that I stopped watching. Uh, um, because I'm just like, I don't know. I just it's not doing anything for me. I might go back to it. Um, anyway, I hope this episode, this stream did it for you. That doesn't make any sense to mean anything, but we're gonna wrap up. It's 11. I should find a way to catch weathering for you. Yes, I would like to see that. I'm in agreement with you on that. But we finished up. We assembled the backpack, finished the body, did the head, mostly shoulder stuff. Legs are starting. I expect us to, if not wrap up on Wednesday, but by the end of Wednesday, we'll be very close to wrapping up. That is the plan. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Please watch on Wednesday. Tell a friend if they like model kit building and hanging out and talking about anime and just, good stuff. Hopefully on Wednesday, I will have it'll be a little harder to understand me because my face will be a little numb because I'll fucking actually have gone to the dentist on Wednesday. Please, please, please. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to run an ad. You can watch that ad or don't. I don't care. Bye-bye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.